senior night inside Rupp Arena. One last home game for these Kentucky Wildcats. The 15th ranked Wildcats hosting Vanderbilt tonight. The seniors getting their authentic send-off one last time. Welcome to our Kentucky home in Lexington tonight. Glad that you are with us. So here's how things stand in the top half of the SEC. It's official. Tennessee has locked up the outright SEC regular season title. Meanwhile, Kentucky, though, with a win this evening, would create a four-way tie for second. Due to all those tiebreakers, Kentucky would take hold of the 2 seed in next week's SEC tournament in Nashville. They need the win tonight to do that. That is Mark Wise, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. It's been a heck of a race to this point in the SEC. This Kentucky team, Mark, coming off another 100-point showing. Went for 111 in the win Saturday against Arkansas. What is the secret ingredient to the special formula this year?
Well, the word that comes to mind is elite. This team is elite offensively, and the numbers make the case. Kentucky plays with a fast tempo and ranks 3rd in the country in scoring per game. And thanks to elite shooters like Reeves and Dillingham and Sheppard leading the way, the Cats are ranked number 2 in three-point percentage. And you add all of that firepower into the mix, and it's easy to see why Kentucky has had the most games hanging 100 in league play since 88, 89, and 90. A fun team to watch.
34 years in the making, my friends. So they've won 3 straight after that victory against Arkansas over the weekend. 106 points per game is the average. We're talking NBA numbers right here. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, they scored 117, an outrageous number against Alabama, looking to keep the momentum building before the SEC tournament. Meanwhile, Jerry Stackhouse's Vanderbilt squad, they are looking for its 2nd win in 3 games. It would be a big upset tonight. However, last time Jerry and these Commodores were in this building, a little game winner, an upset when Jordan Wright hit one with 2.6 to go at the tail end of the season a year ago. So
I just happened to be here for that game. And then they went on and beat Kentucky again in the SEC tournament the following week.
You think the weather in the building was as hazy as it is right now? We had a little bit of the fireworks display. Haziness should clear up soon. Here we go, off and running. We are inside Rupp Arena. Vanderbilt, of course, in those vision and black. They win the opening tap, but Onyenso erases that one at the rim.
Yeah, he is the rim protector.
Mark, in Kentucky starting 5, not just the seniors that we have seen often this year. This man, Trey Mitchell, and Antonio Reeves, number 25, Kareem Watkins, the senior from Camden, New Jersey, gets his first career start tonight in his 20th career game.
Here's my advice for Kareem. There's no such thing right now as a good assist. No, get your shot up, young fella.
Don't give it away. Kentucky, of course, has been one of the best and most prolific offenses in the nation this year. Watkins he's going to get quite the ovation every time he touches it. Reeves on the attack. Trip fell, but draws the personal on Van Allen Lubin. That is the 5-man for Vanderbilt. And so Watkins, he gets the ovation as he takes a seat on his senior night. A special moment there to be part of the starting 5 and to be out there for the first couple of possessions.
Vanderbilt is starting the game, Kevin, man-to-man. I fully expect them to change defenses constantly in this game.
There's Reeves on the baseline. He's got one of the more dangerous jumpers in the SEC.
That's a curl play that Kentucky runs on that baseline out under that works time and time again. Reeves wide open.
So this is Vanderbilt starting 5. If the Commodores are to rekindle some of that magic from a year ago in this building, they'll need quite a night from their leading scorers. That's Ezra Manjon and Tyron Lawrence. Onyenso is in a racer right now. 2 blocks and 2 possessions, in Kentucky in a hurry back the other way. Justin Edwards wants it. And a lefty misfires. Mitchell got his hand on it. Lawrence is able to beat him to the 50-50 ball.
Good call by you, because Lawrence just wanted it a little bit more, I think. 3.
Onyenso, he had him thinking right there for a moment. So Ezra Manjon
I like the fact that Manjon took away the shot blocker's space. Went right at his chest.
Oh, he is our most valuable player. And for many reasons, Onyenso now has his first bucket of the night, the sophomore from Nigeria. Manjon with 4, went for 22 in the win last week against Arkansas.
Onyenso with already 2 blocks. Remember, he had that game against Ole Miss where he had 10 blocks in a single game.
I mean, he's got quite a block rate right now. It's 2 blocks of 4 possessions. That'll boost the percentage there. Good jumper in rhythm from Ezra Manjon. So you couldn't ask for a better start if you're Manjon. He's 3 of 3 from the floor. There's Reeves, quick trigger, left it short. That's a nice contest, probably by Malik Presley.
I think one of the things to keep up with this as this game develops, this is a block call. It's almost impossible to get a charge with the new block charge changes. Let's take another look at Ezra Manjon, who is fearless as a 6-foot senior, the way he attacks the rim. Here's the ball fake and the mid-range jumper. And then when he cashes in later, he actually goes into Onyenso, takes away the shot blocker's space. One of the things I started to say was something to keep up with in this game is time of possession.
Yeah.
Because Vandy wants to kind of slow the tempo. Kentucky wants to play really fast.
Kentucky, a top 15 ball club in terms of possessions per game. Then Allen Lubin nearly had it swiped away by Vanderbilt and Ivisic, who just checked in. He's got the board, and now Reeves, Sheppard. A couple of the young rookies off the bench looking to make things happen. This is Dillingham, back to Sheppard.
That pass had some juice on it.
Dillingham puts it up. That one's offline, and Vanderbilt down with another board. So the Commodores by 2. Remember, they beat this Kentucky team twice last year. Much different roster, though. Earlier this year, the 109 to 77 to this score. That was in Nashville about a month ago. Lawrence.
I think this is going to be on Lubin setting an illegal screen.
And you're right on. Yeah, that's his first.
If you take another look, Lubin doesn't get set. See the way he steps out and actually trips Reeves? That's an easy call.
You can see him basically throw the left hip out there to try to get some contact. Lubin has been one of the bright spots for Vanderbilt in the latter stages of this season. They'll need him to be big today. Dillingham, the high-scoring freshman, finds Ivisic, and that is a shot in his range. Left it short, though. Manjon into the paint, misfires from 15.
He wasn't on balance. This is the Kentucky game, though.
Watch how quick they could get from backcourt into the front court. After the turnover, though, Presley misfires. And Edwards comes down with a rebound. Quick outlet to Dillingham.
Presley just 1 of 10 from deep entering the game.
The freshman from Texas has been in and out of the lineup this year. He's played in 24 games, not consistent minutes, though, for Presley. Lob it up. That's a bit too far for Ivisic. Reeves, though, in the right spot. And then there's a whistle.
I think this is a shot clock issue.
So that takes us to a timeout with Vanderbilt with the early 6-4 lead in Lexington. Let's flash it back to last March. That was the last time Vanderbilt was in this building. Senior day a year ago, and it was spoiled by these Commodores. Jordan Wright, what proved to be the game winner with 2.6. The little fall away, count it, to give Vanderbilt a 68-66 lead. Antonio Reeves here got a pretty darn good look. And in range there as the timer expired. But Vandy, remember, beat this Kentucky team not once, but twice last March.
Yeah, I was in that game last year, and Liam Robbins got hurt in that game. Didn't play but maybe the first 3 or 4 minutes. And Jerry Stockhouse's team hung around, and then played really well down the stretch. And I got to tell you, that look by Reeves, I think he would take that most nights in terms of a last shot opportunity.
The only better look is Jerry's suit game, always on point.
But I'm always more curious about his shoe game.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, listen, he's bringing the heat tonight, going with the Tom Ford. Listen, he's got the best tailor in the league, his man Hideaki in Atlanta. The Tom Ford shoes, they are... What happened to that phrase, on fleek? That one went out a long time ago. I'm going to try to revive it. Solid as always. You know, remember that win here, though, it snapped a 14-game losing streak to Kentucky. Vanderbilt, that is. And then they got him in the SEC tournament quarterfinals. You know, that Kentucky, that Vandy team just got better and better as the year played out. Ultimately went to the NIT, remember, back-to-back NIT appearances. Bit of a different story this season. It's been a struggle with the 3-13 league record. However, they have the 2-point lead here early on. Dillingham into the paint, and Kentucky a little careless with it. He's really going.
Way too many bodies in the paint to try and make that pass. There's a mismatch on top.
Manjon puts it up. That one's down and out. Manjon has all 6 of Vandy's points. He's 3 of 4 now from the floor. Make it 3 of 5.
Kentucky needs something at the rim. The Vanderbilt defense, they are really good at icing the ball on one side of the floor. They make it difficult to have ball reversal. On cue, Thiero attack the rim. He does bring Kentucky some physicality that maybe they're lacking in other positions.
And the 6'8" sophomore, number 3 in the white. He's played some big minutes when Trey Mitchell was out recently. I don't think Paul Lewis put the ball down before he left his feet, so that's a turnover.
Yeah, did his foot leave the floor, though? I thought his left foot, I'd have to see that again.
Would have been the left, yeah. But instead, Kentucky forces the second Vanderbilt turnover. We got more looks at the rim. Kentucky went their prior possession. This is Reeves off the window. John Calipari likes to call him a 3-level scorer this year. You agree?
He has gotten so much better in his floater game. He can score on both sides of the floor, plays off 2 feet a lot, doesn't take a lot of bad shots.
20 points a game this year for Reeves. That's Manjon to the rim. Was asking for a little contact or maybe a whistle, but instead, Kentucky back this way. Ivisic, that's offline. Taylor comes down with the board. That's Evan Taylor. Fifth-year senior has got some more playing time of late.
I know Big Z can make that shot, but I have to believe that that's a shot Jerry Stackhouse is willing to live with.
Ivisic has missed twice from deep, and Tyron Lawrence with a pretty reverse. Reeves in transition. Look how quickly they respond.
The ball's on one end of the floor for 20-25 seconds, and in 5 seconds, Kentucky responds.
Yeah, that sums it up in terms of the pace both of these teams play at. Lawrence fires, and he splashes the 3 right in front of the Kentucky bench.
Yeah, he's a guy who has really struggled with his shooting this year. Just 26% from deep.
Well, not a fine start for Ivisic. He's missed a couple of shots, and he was just whistled there for the illegal screen, so Vandy takes it back.
Tyron Lawrence, who made that 3, is more known as a slasher. How about the crafty finish? Woo. Up and under, off the window, and then step back with a 3-ball. He had 10 points the first time these two met, but lately he's scored the ball really well, 21 each of their last 2 games.
The West End veteran now. Mark his 102nd game in the Vanderbilt uniform.
Now that's a small number these days.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw some numbers at you later about guys.
The records have gone out the window in recent years. Everybody using that extra year of eligibility. Lewis offline of the 3. Sheppard doesn't even put it down on the floor. Up to Bradshaw. Bounces out. Bradshaw got a cut and a whistle. So Aaron Bradshaw, fresh off the bench, sticks with it, earns himself a trip to the line. Kentucky a blur when they get out and run, but they're down 1 8 minutes in. Nothing sweeter than a senior night inside Rupp Arena for these 3. Kareem Watkins, the New Jersey native, Got the start earlier today. The walkout has been a staple for this program over the last few years. Trey Mitchell, think what could have been for Kentucky if they don't get him out of the transfer portal this past summer. What a leader he has been. And then the transformational 2 years for Antonio Reeves. He goes from 6th man of the year to potential All-American this year. You know, he spends 3 years at Illinois State, scores 1,000 points there. In 2 years at Kentucky, he has gone for 1,000. Like, this is one of the more prolific 2-year runs, if you will, for a Kentucky player, what Reeves has done in a short amount of time.
When I look at Reeves, I think about a player who did all the work in silence. The weight room, the gym, the shots, so that he could excel when there's a crowd and the building is loud. But you got to do that work in silence to have it pay off later. He's done that.
Speaks to who he is, isn't it? He is the reserved, silent assassin, if you will, who puts in the work, so determined. Look at the jump from last season to this year.
And in most years, we would talk about him being a Player of the Year candidate. Janai Broome, Mark Sears, Antonio Reeves.
Right.
Nah, I don't think so this year. I think it's Dalton Connect.
He just went for 26 earlier for Tennessee as they locked up the SEC regular season title with the win over South Carolina. Well, just look at the John Calipari era alone. And Reeves, his 20-point-per-game average would be the most for any player who played for Cal the last 15 years. Jamal Murray, the only other man who scored 20 a game in Cal's 15 years. Lawrence is starting to cook in the early minutes. He's got 7.
Yeah, the good news for Vanderbilt is that Lawrence and Manjon are off to great starts.
Wagner straight on triple. DJ Wagner with his first bucket. The 5-star rookie. He's gone for about 10-11 a game this year.
He's coming off a game where he made 4 or 5 against Arkansas. That's his best game maybe in a month.
Yeah, 19 points in that big win Saturday. Bradshaw bodying with J.Q. Roberts and a whistle. So that's the first on Aaron Bradshaw, the 7-footer from New Jersey.
I thought Lubin did a nice job of making an extra step without walking. Take another look. He's going to come at you baseline side. But watch this extra step right there. And that kind of got Bradshaw wrong-footed. And I thought that was a foul.
That's nice athleticism as well, to your point, for the freshman from Bloomington, Indiana. And Roberts has earned much more minutes of late. 5 straight, he's logged double-digit minutes. You know, Jerry Stackhouse has been very intentional about, hey, regardless of what year you are of late, if you're given the effort, you're gonna see some minutes. And he has certainly played some of the freshman, sophomore in the rotation, maybe a bit more than earlier in conference play. Roberts, nice trip to the line.
But Kentucky just comes at you in waves, don't they? They're almost too deep everywhere. Sort of like Auburn.
Well, you got Sheppard and Dillingham on the floor now. Sheppard can test that one, and Paul Lewis says too small.
So Lewis has been double figures 2 of the last 4, but he's more known as a 3-point shooter.
Bradshaw, that long reach, taps it back out to Wagner. The freshman puts it in.
That was all kept alive by Bradshaw on the tip out, though.
To your point, though, Kentucky's depth has been one of its greatest attributes all year and can be quite a weapon when we reach tournament time. That 3 of the year from Thiero, contested and left short. Offensive board, though, for the Commodores.
Now, those air balls are so difficult to rebound for a defender. There's a rhythm to a shot, to a missed shot. It goes off the rim, you hit somebody, then you go get it. And when it doesn't hit the rim, it disrupts the timing.
Dillingham, offensive foul.
Take another look. Does the defender get set in legal guarding position before he leaves the floor with that last foot? Man, that's close.
Quite the long stride there, by the way, to get into position. So Dillingham takes a seat.
Kevin, in some ways, don't you think this is a just because game for Kentucky? Just because Vandy's only won 3 times, they're not going to come in here and roll over. It's just not going to happen. These 2 guards are really good.
Lewis, corner 3, knocks it down. And so Vanderbilt, 8 of 18 from the floor to start. They're shooting about 44% from the floor. And this is exactly what you need to happen to stay in this game. There's the 5th Kentucky turnover. Manjon into the paint. Back it out to Lewis. Got it! Oh, Lewis! Consecutive triples. And Vanderbilt has the 6-point lead with 9:13 to go. Timeout, Kentucky.
When you get feet in the paint like Ezra Manjon can do and find teammates, good things will happen. The same 2 players were involved on both plays. Watch as Manjon gets the ball in the paint and then hold it there. Look at all the white jerseys, all 5 you can see in your screen. The kick out is on point. Lewis makes them pay with the 3-ball. Same thing in transition. Feed in the paint, attract all the guys in the white jerseys, feed Paul Lewis on the other side, back-to-back 3s. Cal doesn't like it.
And so Paul Lewis now with 8. Paul Lewis has 8 points. Meanwhile, this is that dynamic duo. Look at what Manjon and Lawrence have done their last 2 games. The win against Arkansas and then the loss to LSU Saturday.
Scoring, shooting efficiently, but more importantly, not turning the ball over.
And that's what's happened in the first 11 minutes of this game. 5 Kentucky turnovers compared to just 2 for the Commodores.
Sloppy, no question about it.
Now, Manjon is a fighter. He really is. There's a lot of folks around the program that label him that. The 5th-year senior who transferred in from UC Davis last year.
Right.
And he is undoubtedly their most valuable player.
A little zone defense, a little 3-2, if you will. Ball must get below the free throw line. Now good things will happen.
Edwards spots up. This fires from deep. That's the 2nd miss from beyond the arc for Edwards, but he cuts. Good movement. Draws the foul. And Justin Edwards going to the free throw line. Now, that's a couple times Bradshaw has gotten his hands on an offensive rebound.
Watch this, though, Kevin. Vandy's going to let this ball go out, but Thiero makes the extra play, keeps that ball alive. He's the reason why Edwards is getting to the free throw line.
Yeah, more credit to Thiero on that occasion. Edwards at the stripe where he's a 76% free throw shooter. Edwards, in a lot of ways, has evolved as the year has played out. Another 5-star freshman from Philly. But John Calipari has talked a lot about his confidence skyrocketing of late. Living in the gym, as he says, this team collectively has done so well this year.
I know that he had that big game against Alabama, and I'm talking about Edwards when he went for 28, but I was more impressed with the way he played down the stretch the other day against Arkansas. Made the big 2, had a steal, knocked down the 3, and he did that coming off the bench. I think it takes a certain kind of maturity, especially playing here at Kentucky, because guess what? You're not going to play 35 minutes here.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
That loose ball foul gives possession back to the Wildcats. 15 years now for the Hall of Famer in Lexington. We're going to talk about this at times tonight. It does feel like they have that Final Four formula. Kentucky trying to get back there for the first time since 2015. They're 1 of 9, though, from beyond the arc. One of the nation's best 3-point shooting teams. Oh, that's a scoop. Onyenso, look at Thiero, pardon me, with the follow slam.
There's 2 ways to beat a zone. You either shoot a team out of the zone or you rebound a team out of the zone.
Well, tonight, Kentucky +6 on the glass. They got 5 offensive rebounds. This is Van and Lubin starting to go to work on Bradshaw. Couple pump fakes. So they whistle Bradshaw for his 2nd foul. And he must have caught him with the body here. That takes us to a timeout with 7:42 to go. Vandy by 2.
But the Wildcats offensively get the ball up on the rim. Thiero with the finish and flush. Vandy off to a good start.
It's Vanderbilt by 2. 7:42 to go in the first with Mark Wise, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Kentucky has been... They have been rocket fueled this year, the offense, if you will. Last 2 home games, 111 against Arkansas and then 117 against Alabama. Most in a 2-game span at home since 1978. Things went well that year, by the way. Maybe an omen.
One of those flags we saw in the practice facility today. So. You know, Kentucky not shooting the ball very well, just 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. And I think you're going to continue to see Jerry Stackhouse kind of mix up his zones, different defenses. They may go down the floor a little bit, not to trap and press, just to buy some time. And I think Kentucky might be a little impatient on the offensive end.
Well, you acknowledged it earlier. Ken Palm, he does a great job tracking how long an offensive possession lasts on average for teams. Vanderbilt 333rd in the nation in terms of how long their possessions normally last. Kentucky, meanwhile, finds itself on the other side of that spectrum, top 20 in the nation.
Well, you got to remember that in the first game between these two teams, Vanderbilt did make 11 threes in the game, but Kentucky made 15.
They have been so prolific from beyond the arc this year. No team in America has a better 3-point percentage than Kentucky. They're making 41% of their threes as a team. There's a long 2. That one bounces out. And so the Wildcats, they're below 40% shooting from the floor to start. We know that could change very quickly. Manjon would not be denied that time. Ezra Manjon nearly into double figures in the first half.
Well, he is just so fearless with the way he attacks the rim.
Manjon contests the Wagner triple, book it. A straight on 3, the second one of the night for Kentucky from beyond the arc. And Wagner's got them both. So DJ Wagner, the freshman from Camden, he has 8. Manjon misfires on the turnaround. Not bad transition defense that time by Vandy.
But that's better patience offensively. Kentucky probed in transition, but didn't force it.
Thiero has been hungry on the glass. That one just ricocheted out of his fingertips. Lawrence tries a lob. Instead, it's back out to Manjon.
Smart play by Presley, who didn't force that.
Lawrence trying to get by Reeves. Lost it, and then there's a foul. So that should be the first on Reeves.
Take another look as Lawrence was trying to split defenders. And I think it's Ivisic's leg that gets in there for the foul.
Yeah, good catch.
I think one thing, Kevin, we so often talk about offensive patience for a team. But in a game like this for Kentucky, they're going to have defensive patience. The clock's going to get inside 10. You can't panic then. You've got to finish a possession defensively against this Vanderbilt team.
You're right, by the way. That was the second on Ivisic, so he sits down. Then Alan Lubin plans the attack, block from behind. That was Edwards and Onyenso who smothered him. Sheppard, quick to Reeves. Cut off on the baseline, and that's a foul, though, on Presley before Reeves stepped on the end line.
Sheppard is so good at moving the ball ahead via the pass. So many times we see so many guards who dribble the ball up the floor.
Got wonderful instincts. Freshman who would be surprising if he's one of the first 14 names selected this June. Nice runner in the paint. Kentucky back within 1.
One of the things, I'm sorry, Kevin, one of the things that Reeves has become so good at is moving.
Senior night.
Isolation.
Reeves cuts off Lawrence. Van Allen Lubin got it, plus the foul. And so the sophomore is headed to the free throw line.
Onyenso got caught up on a switch. And because of that, Lubin's able to attack Edwards and split the second defender. And then Reeves, take a look at Reeves, 12 wide, watch him come and curl into the paint, movement without the ball. Sheppard delivers the ball on time, and Reeves with that outstanding floater game.
He has developed one of the better offensive repertoires in the SEC and the nation as well. Dillingham, a blur into the paint. That one ricochets to Manjon. Up ahead to Lawrence. Hey, throws it down. Vanderbilt.
Counter-punching.
Yes. Now Reeves from deep. Tapped up into the air. Dillingham gets a new 20-second shot clock for Kentucky. Last touch by Vandy. So it stays here with 4:54 to go.
Long rebounds. Watch this ball kick out. And there's Manjon to Lawrence. It's not the last time we're going to say that tonight.
That's 9 for Thiero and Lawrence, so he has 9, Manjon with 8. And then you got 8 from Paul Lewis giving you a lift as well if you're Vanderbilt.
X-Factor guy.
Yep. Mitchell backing down. Taylor goes up with the right. The hook shot wouldn't fall that time. And here's Vanderbilt pushing. And now Manjon wisely backs it out.
Mitchell still trying to get back in the flow after missing 6 of 7 games.
He's dealing with shoulder problems, had a back issue that kept him out for a couple of games. Played 16 minutes in the win against Arkansas Saturday's return game. Lawrence from 15, a contested jumpers offline left. Boy, look at this BB down the floor. Dillingham blocked though, and Lawrence was the one who knocked it away.
Lawrence and Manjon are so active defensively. Getting back to just contest this run out. That's just good defense. No foul there.
Yeah, that's a savvy play by the senior from Monticello, Georgia. Dillingham, that's a difficult one. Got it to go.
Well, that's a play Kentucky worked on in practice yesterday.
Oh, goodness! Oh, Malik Presley, where you been?
Oh, my goodness.
Where did that come from? The freshman from San Marcos, Texas, with an absolute hammer there in a blink of an eye. So the emphatic dunk answered by Dillingham on this side of the floor. That's back-to-back buckets for Dillingham.
Dillingham is such a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker.
Manjon keeps the pivot foot after a couple of nifty crossovers. Van Allen Lubin knocks down the 15-footer. So Vanderbilt, as you said before, they are countering every swing from Kentucky. Matter of fact, they're a better shooting team from the floor in this first half. Reeves left the floater short. Onyenso, yes.
I think Kentucky needs to do a little bit more of that. This is an undersized Vanderbilt team, and in league play, their rebound margin is -6.
3-point lead for the visitors on senior night. Inside of 3 minutes. Deflected. Taylor has to get it up ahead, and then the shot clock expired.
Kevin, I hope you like your action going end to end, because that's what's evolving here. Kentucky and Dillingham, watch the degree of difficulty with this finish off the window, the spin, the extension. But the answer by Malik Presley. Oh my goodness, top 10. Are you watching?
Hey guys, we'll talk to you in just a few minutes. 2:39 to go in the first half here. You think, has our man Ron Slay popped the champagne bottle yet? A little Tennessee regular season title.
Yes,
been clinched.
Congratulations to Coach Slay, shall we put it, and all the Vols. But how good do you have to play as a guard to get Ron Slay to give you some props? I mean, Ezra Manjon has been just sensational, and this team has fed off of it. But congratulations to Rick Barnes and the Vol Nation.
Remember, they won the SEC tournament title a couple of years ago, so they will be marching into Nashville with quite a bit of momentum. Remember, Kentucky goes to Knoxville to close out the year. That'll be their final opponent. And if the Wildcats win tonight, look, they're on the wrong side of a 34-31 score right now. They would be the 2 seed based on tiebreakers, where Kentucky can't finish any further south of the 6th seed, if you will. But at this point, of course, couldn't finish any higher than 2nd. If you're the top 4, remember, you get the double bye to the quarters. And there it is. Our SEC tournament coverage begins March 13th, Wednesday. We've got the doubleheader beginning at 7 Eastern. And you can catch it right here on the SEC Network. The championship game, of course, Sunday inside Bridgestone Arena. Next Sunday, that is. So look alive.
Kevin, don't you feel like this is a real important 2:26 to close out the first half for Vanderbilt?
For sure.
The visitors, they've played so well. They've controlled tempo. Now get into the locker room.
What has been most impressive about their effort in the first half?
The 2 guards, the way they've been able to create their own shots.
Manjon's one of them. Finds Taylor, lets it fly, and he missed everything. They'll let him know about it.
Well, Taylor was so good in the first game in Nashville. He made 5 3-pointers, had 20 points. He's had 3 or more threes 7 different times, but he's struggled lately, just 1 for 10 in his last 3.
This Vandy team has played with quite a bit of tenacity in the first half, shooting just below 50% from the floor. They've also forced 5 Kentucky turnovers, so they're +2 in that category. Dillingham, the no-look to Thiero, out to Sheppard, into the paint. Now Dillingham sets the feet, left the 3 short. Another offensive rebound for Kentucky. They are winning that battle. Sheppard wide open. This is the nation's best.
Second shot opportunity. The defense is rattled after an offensive rebound.
Kentucky now in front. Manjon high off the glass. Like you said, he's the undersized guard. He's got to find the right angles. Puts it up high off the glass there over the outstretched arms of the Kentucky bigs. Dillingham, yes. Back-to-back triples for the Wildcats.
They can heat up in a hurry.
Manjon gets into the paint, and an easy one. Manjon with 12.
Manjon is getting whatever he wants against the Kentucky guards.
Oh, he is showing off the athleticism right now.
Kentucky could go 2 for 1 here.
40 seconds to go in the first half. Dillingham, a deep one again. Rob Dillingham. Took him 10 minutes to hit his first basket. He's got 12 points here in the first half. Timeout, Vanderbilt, with 28 seconds to go. About a 4-second differential between shot and game clock. All of a sudden, the Wildcats up 2 possessions.
I know there are a lot of Kentucky fans that are really concerned about this team's defense. Who cares when you can score like this team can score? Take another look at back-to-back threes. First, it's Dillingham finding Sheppard after the offensive rebound. All the defenders are scattered. That's a wide open look for the country's best 3-point shooter from percentage. And look at how deep Dillingham's range goes to. And we told you at the top of the show how efficient this Kentucky team has been from the 3-point line. Normally, when you shoot a lot of threes, you're kind of hot and cold, like Alabama can be at times. This Kentucky team so far this year has almost been 3-point shooting proof.
Yep. Not many players play the game with more confidence than Rob Dillingham.
Right.
He has it in bunches, the extremely explosive scorer. So look at that. Kentucky started 2 of 11 from deep. Dillingham, again, he's got a dozen. He's done that in the last 3.5 minutes. That is how quick it can happen. So Kentucky trailed for much of this first half. Matter of fact, they've only led for 2 minutes. But they do have a lead here just before halftime.
Why does this feel like a big possession for Vanderbilt? To close the half, we talked about the last 2.5 minutes. Kentucky's on a little bit of a run.
It's a 13-4 run. There it is over the last 3 minutes. About a 4-second differential between shot and game clock. Vanderbilt wants something good here.
Oh, yes.
Lawrence, nice run. Great design, and Lawrence throws it down. 5 seconds, though. This is Thiero. Keeps the dribble. Thiero to Reeves. Yeah!
Pretty simple when you can trade 2 for 3. Vanderbilt executed beautifully in their last possession, but the Cats answer at the buzzer. Time running down. Thiero forces the issue, smart enough to find Reeves. 44% on the year from deep. Knocks down another 3-ball, and the Cats seem to have the momentum we talked about.
You just saw Mama Reeves. I think she's liking that one on senior night. Vanderbilt led for nearly 13 minutes of that first half. It finds itself down 5, though. Nice run for Kentucky there to end the half. Let's go to the studio. Dari. 20 minutes in the books inside Rupp Arena on senior night in Kentucky. Up by 5. Glad that you're with us to start the second half with the Scott County High stud.
Well played. Well played.
Kevin Fitzgerald with you. All right, so make sense of this riddle. So Kentucky trailed for 13 minutes in that first half, but they're up by 5 right now.
Yeah, to continue that thought, sometimes our game's not fair because Vanderbilt shot 53% and only had 3 turnovers,
right,
and they're down 5.
Their stud in the first half was Ezra Manjon. He has led the way. He is our region's confident player. Mark finished with 12 in the first half.
Well, simply put, Manjon got whatever he wants, whether you're talking about getting to the rim or the mid-range game in transition. Watch the way he can play at a different gear and beat the defenders down the floor. He also had 6 assists. But Kentucky started trading 2s for 3s down the stretch. Especially what I like is they ended up making 6 threes in the first half from 4 different players, including this buzzer beater by Reeves.
6 threes for Kentucky. Remember, they missed their first, 6, and then they go 6 of 10 the rest of the way. Reeves with 11. Rob Dillingham scored 12 in 4.5 minutes. Yes. Dillingham goes from 0 to 100 real quick, as they say. Speaking of Scott County High, welcome back to the Bluegrass State.
Well, thank you. That was fun for me. I had dinner last night with my brother, sister-in-law, and sister.
That's great.
So that was good. Born here, right down the street. Central Baptist Hospital at that point in time. Raised in Georgetown.
I already heard from them. They said you didn't pick up the tab, so next time you're going to have to do it.
But I did make you stand up for my old Kentucky home.
You did.
I saw you get up.
Persuasive. Meanwhile, after the first Kentucky miss, you know, let's take a moment here to recognize the effort, the tenacity that we saw from Vandy in that first half. Now, you saw the dubious record there when trailing at the break. This is a team that's just 3-13 in league play. They won the last time they were in this building 12 months ago. And as you pointed out, shot 53% from the floor in the first half. Then Alan Lubin misfires on his first look. Well, this has been a competitive game, one in which Vandy led for 13 minutes. Did Wagner step on the half-court line there? So it's a backcourt violation. It's like the quarterback going out of the end zone, right?
He just keeps backing up, crosses over. That's an easy call. Manjon knew it. You know, Lawrence was really good in the first 20 also, but it's almost like the more or the better that Manjon plays, Lawrence gets feed off that.
Matching the intensity and energy that he was bringing. Manjon, he has been Vandy's warrior this year.
He's also a very underrated defender on the ball.
Vandy will need every ounce of his good stuff tonight. They want to pull off this upset. Difficult shot. Better defense there from Wagner. Kentucky a blur into the front court. Presley, who lost some great first half minutes, is the one to swat that one away out of Wagner's hands.
That release was way too slow.
Presley on this end leaves it short. Edwards goes up, had it knocked out by Lubin. Kentucky takes it, and Jerry Stackhouse disagrees with the call.
There are 3 Kentucky players and only Lubin involved, so he wants to know how can it be out on Lubin.
Yeah. Kentucky has won 3 in a row. 2 of its last 3. It scored more than 100. Onyenso, not that time. And this is a Kentucky team that, with a win tonight, it would, based on tiebreakers, move into 2nd place in the league ahead of next week's SEC tournament. There's a foul after Presley went tumbling. And that goes against Thiero. So that's the first on the sophomore from Pennsylvania, who's had a wonderful first half, led the team in plus-minus. 4 offensive rebounds for Thiero.
Kept the ball alive several times, which led to points on second chance opportunities.
So neither team has made one here in the second half. Just a couple minutes in. 3 in the air. That one's down. J.Q. Roberts is only 4 of 22 from deep this year, but he knocked that one down confidently. You wouldn't know it.
Great kick out and was wide open.
This has been a tight game since the opening tap. Wagner driving kick to Edwards, trying to stretch it. Buries the 3. Justin Edwards.
Well, we talked about him playing better as of late. Had 17 in the first game against Vanderbilt.
Kentucky back ahead by 5, though this has been its largest lead of the evening. There's a reach in, hand check whistle against Reeves. That's the first on Reeves.
Get feet in the paint. This time it's the big guy, Lubin, who feeds Roberts. And as Kevin mentioned, makes his 5th 3 ball of the year. Get the ball up, get it back, relocate. The left-hander with the sweet stroke.
I've heard you mention that a lot tonight for Vanderbilt. They've done a fine job getting into the paint to try to shake up that D.
Normally that's Manjon.
Lawrence, a couple of hammers by Vanderbilt tonight. We saw Presley with the tomahawk slam earlier, and Lawrence would not be denied on his way to the rim that time. So Lawrence has 13. Reeves, a big right hook of his own. Edwards, clear for takeoff. The mammoth jam for Justin Edwards has his place ignited. He has 7.
Kind of a fair reward because it was Edwards that created the turnover.
Good call. You mentioned his defensive prowess in the win Saturday against Arkansas. 3 steals. Manjon gathers, floats it up over the outstretched Croatian zone. And it's Ivisic who gathers the rebound. Sheppard, always in control, has his eyes up, trying to work around the screen. Sheppard, driving kick. Edwards, another, puts it in. Back-to-back praise for Edwards.
Edwards, who has been in double figures 10 times this year, just seems like he's playing with such a different level of confidence right now.
Vandy playing through this, now in its largest hold, down 8. Presley to Roberts. Roberts barges in with the left. That's a strong move, count. And he's going to the line for 1 more.
Maybe we're seeing these Vanderbilt freshmen grow up right in front of our eyes. Take another look. First the visitors, the Commodores, if you will. Watch this attack of the rim by Roberts for the and-one opportunity. That followed the knockaway by Edwards. Find him, reward the guy with the quick hands, with the quick one-handed flush. Stack told us the story that word got to the team, whether or not it's true or not, I don't know, but that Pitino had reserved a room for the Kentucky celebration in the regional final, so they used it as fuel and actually felt like they were the underdogs in the game. And of course he was quick to point out that room was empty after that contest.
Yeah, that's a touch of the money, all right.
You know, we don't talk to many head coaches who had an 18-year career in the NBA, and I always marvel because I talked to him about his experiences. One of the records that Jerry Stackhouse has as a player is the single game scoring record in the United Center. Wow. It's a one record that Michael Jordan does not have, and when Stackhouse tells you that, he smiles and goes, hey, he's got all the rest, but I've got that one.
That's incredible. That should have been during his Pistons days, right? I think that was when he was with
57.
Detroit. Yep.
Went for 57 in the United Center.
That is one list you don't forget about. Your name ahead of MJ. Yes. Make sure to bring that one up. Two-time All-Star, like you said. Scored 30 a game one year. When I think that was when he was with the Sixers. Had a couple of high-scoring years with the Sixers. He said when he started playing for Rick Carlisle, kind of changed the way he approached the game, if you will, became such a well-rounded player. But yeah, it was he and Rasheed Wallace that were running the show that year for UNC in '95. Meanwhile, Kentucky into the front court in a hurry. Reeves misfires from deep.
Kentucky attacked that 1-2, 2 3/4 press. Got the shot they wanted.
Kentucky hasn't led for that often, but in this second half, it's maintained the slim lead here. They're up 5.
Here we go again. Shot clock under 10. Can Kentucky be patient defensively?
Sheppard right up on Manjon, gets some space, leaves the fall away short. Sheppard eyes always up, scanning the floor. Dillingham back to the nation's best three-point shooter, and rebound down to Lawrence. So it doesn't really hurt the percentage. He made one in the first, and he's missed one here. He's 51% from deep. #1 in America. Dillingham says not even going to get that shot up after the whistle, so it's a foul on Dillingham, his second. And that was before, yeah, it's just a foul on the floor, so Vanderbilt inbounds underneath the hoop. So 4 fouls on Kentucky. Vandy has not yet been whistled for one in the second half.
Kentucky kind of plays a zone with 3 players, and once the ball's inbounded on the out-under, they go man-to-man.
Lawrence leading the way with 13. They double the senior, kicks it back out. Manjon rescues him, now into the paint. Gets a little separation, left it short. Lubin, one more time, a third time. Would not be denied. Van Allen Lubin.
He had inside position on all 3 attempts.
Bradshaw now trying to respond. His answer falls through.
But again, we're back into this kind of rhythm, Kevin. Vanderbilt's on their half court, 20 seconds, 25. Kentucky's trying to counter in the first 10. A tug of war with tempo.
Lewis launches. That's another offensive rebound for Lubin. About a month's worth in the last minute. Oh my goodness, he snatches another away from Kentucky. Lob it up to Lawrence. It's 3-point game again.
This is what Lubin did in the road win at Arkansas. He went for that monster double-double. Arkansas had no answer for him block to block.
Hey, Lawrence has 15, but Manjon now with 7 assists. And Van Allen Lubin with 7 boards. Edwards gets his team a new 20. Dillingham skips into the paint. He is a wizard with the ball close to the rim.
The combination of Reed and Dillingham is so explosive. A rare mistake by Manjon on the short roll by Lubin.
That's just the 5th Vanderbilt turnover. They've done a fine job of taking care of the ball.
Watch this sidestep by Dillingham. Oh my goodness. If I was guarding Dillingham, you know what I'd be saying right now? Trainer! Trainer! I need help. I need tape.
Yeah, check the ankles. Dillingham connects again. He gets that shot off so quick, Mark. He's not. It doesn't have to just be square to the basket. He can hit a lot of off-balance shots.
I said tough shot taker, tough shot maker.
16 is a game high. Kentucky by 7, its largest lead. Onyenso, I think, knocked that one away. Here they come. Edwards saves it, if only for a moment.
Pass was just a little too far out in front. That all started because of the quick hands of Onyenso. Created the turnover.
I mean, they really are a freight train. Yes. When they get out into the open court, because it's all 5 of them running the floor coming at you.
But for the most part, Vanderbilt has won the tempo battle.
Manjon lost it, so Kentucky with back-to-back steals.
A sudden change, that's a football term, right? Sudden change. Yep. Vanderbilt's sudden change defense has been really good.
Onyenso knocked away by Lubin, couldn't pick up the offensive rebound. Vanderbilt starting to slip here, down 7 with 11:50 to go. Once led by as many as 6. Drive and kick. This is Roberts. Another. That one's strong. And Reeves clears it. Kentucky on the move once again. Oh, beautiful crossover. Reeves got bumped, and he goes to the line for a pair. Boy, that hesitation, that change of speed from Antonio Reeves, the 5th-year senior in his final game in this building, at the line when we come back. It's first-round action, 7 Eastern, right here, the SEC Network. This is how the bracket looks right now. Okay, as of now.
And right now,
that's it. As of right now. So right now, you got Vanderbilt scheduled to play in that first-round game against Arkansas. So Tennessee has locked up the regular season title, but what if Kentucky wins tonight?
Well, take a look at the right part of your screen. Kentucky would go into a 4-way tie with South Carolina, Alabama, Auburn. And as of later tonight, if that happens, we think Kentucky would be the 2 seed. Now, that has nothing to do with what might happen on Saturday, because this could all get jumbled again.
Sure.
So this is the bracket as it stands at this very second.
But based on the tiebreakers, Kentucky would be the 2 seed. But again, like you said, we still have Saturday's action to go. Oh, who does Kentucky have? It'll be inside the Dalton Connect Center. I think they renamed the place after the likely All-American. New naming rights, perhaps. They'll play Tennessee on Saturday to close out the regular season.
I do think, Kevin, that our sport has become such a destination sport instead of a journey sport.
What do you mean by that?
The NCAA's tournament, you don't start in November in the tournament. You have to go along this journey. And I think we've kind of lost joy in the journey in terms of Cal's team, for instance. Auburn is 14-15-1 at home. Their only loss, Kentucky. Florida, 14-1 at home. Their only loss, Kentucky. Tennessee winning the SEC title tonight. We just have lost, I think, the joy in the journey. We're so focused on what is the beauty and the curse of the NCAA tournament.
I've heard a lot of, well said, partner, I've heard a lot of coaches, you and I both have heard them mention, you know, what is the tougher ordeal, if you will, being the best team over the course of an 18-game schedule in a league where your opponent's very familiar with personnel year to year, with playing style and whatnot. To be the best after an 18-round fight, that certainly deserves a great level of acknowledgement.
Yes. Before we even talk about tournaments.
Nice ball movement there by Thiero, and even better look from Onyenso, but it was slapped out by Vandy, so it stays here with 12 on the shot clock.
Lawrence, that last possession, if you allow him to go left, he is so sensational at scoring in the paint. That's usually the play they run for Reeves to come off and get that baseline jumper.
Remember, Dillingham is 16, making 18. The one-handed off-glass, one-legged fadeaway.
He almost took that ball to the right just to get the shot off.
Yeah, his shot-making ability is elite. To put it lightly, 7 of 12 from the floor. The triple is short. And so Kentucky's starting to stretch it, trying to take their first double-digit lead. Wagner trying to kick, somehow found its way to Dillingham. They're up 11. Dillingham with 20.
This feels like the first danger zone for Vanderbilt.
They are in their largest hole of the evening after leading by as many as 6, and for leading for the majority of the first half. It's a 10-2 Kentucky run, though. Manjon splits the D. Manjon rises, went right into the chest of a couple of the Kentucky bigs, but he came up empty. They're on the go again. This is Wagner now. Onyenso with a pterodactyl-like wingspan, but he flings it into the backcourt. Ball back to Vanderbilt.
I love Onyenso getting on the offensive glass, but I kind of think he threw it to Georgetown. Watch Dillingham, reverse pivot. Watch him take the ball almost to his right ear to get this shot off. And then here's again Dillingham wrong-footed. Doesn't matter to him. The 7th time this year Dillingham has gone for 20 or more.
Van Allen Lubin to Lawrence in the corner. Was off balance for a moment. Drives off the right side of the rim. And the lefty is going to the line for a pair.
If you don't weak him and make him go right, he is so confident in his ability to get to the rim. And he does a lot of damage at the free throw line. He entered the game tonight shooting 145 free throws. You know what a big number that is for a guard?
You're right on. He's 3rd in the league in terms of attempts at the line. Although he leaves one short. Vanderbilt has barely been at the stripe today. They're just 4 of 7 at the free throw line. They don't get there at a terribly high rate.
What number game did you say this was for Lawrence tonight?
102.
102. Okay, Reeves tonight?
We got
153.
Oh, man.
153.
No.
Oh, watch out.
Dillingham connects again.
The defenders, both defenders had their hands down. That's a simple pin down.
Dillingham, he is on one right now. He went scoreless the first 15 minutes of the game. Taylor's 3, that rattles home. Evan Taylor with a triple.
Again, Taylor is one of those three-point specialists because if you count his Lehigh days, he's made over 125.
Look out now, look out now. Bounces out.
I didn't like the balance there, the step back.
Well, Taylor, on the other side now, rings out.
Vandy's got to be careful. This tempo is starting to pick up.
Sheppard steps into the mid-range confidently. They lead it by a dozen with 8:25 to go on senior night. It's just very hard, as you have illuminated several times.
Going left.
Now there's Lawrence. Oh, Thiero knocked it away. Thiero's done some really fine things on the defensive side. Saying, Coach, I'm going out on a high note. Give me a breather. Pulling the Costanza here. Trey Mitchell checks back in.
It's also worth noting part of the journey of a team is being able to play at full strength. This is just the 2nd game that Kentucky has had their full roster.
Which is amazing to think. We're 29 games in.
Right.
Jason Rivera-Torres hasn't played much. This might be his first minutes. They are. Another 3 offline. And Dillingham is down with the rebound. Dillingham with 23. Ivisic wants it. Offline. So Lewis takes it. And Vandy again trying to get this back to single digits. Lewis with the floater.
He was so good in the first half. He's gotten to double figures.
So it's a 10-point lead for Kentucky. Looking to make it 4 straight wins as it builds momentum with the postseason beginning 1 week from tonight.
And I know Big Z can make the three-point shot, but one of the things he's got to learn, when is it a good time for you to take your three-point shot?
Sheppard lobs it up to Mitchell. One dribble on the backside. He converts with the right hand. The senior night as well for Trey Mitchell, someone as the sensei of this group. He really has reveled in that role, being the leader of the master class. For a lot of these five-star rookies, he has been integral, part of the success this year. Mark Kentucky's lead is a dozen, largest of the evening with 7:08 to go. Full header begins at noon. Hey, Kentucky with a victory over Georgia in the first round earlier today, so it faces Tennessee tomorrow at 2:30 right here on the network. And then Vandy, the 6th seed that's had a wonderful year, is at 8:30 hosting Florida.
I see what you did there with the Tennessee, Kentucky, and Florida Vanderbilt, because those two men's teams, four men's teams, match up against each other on Saturday.
That's right.
As well. Florida goes to
wild.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's played out that way.
I gave you too much credit, is what you're telling me? Well, maybe sometime I'll take more. You waxed it poetically.
I will take more. any way I can get it, my friend. That's going on up at Greenville right now. By the way, South Carolina, of course, the 1 seed. They've won 7 of the last 9.
The NCAA tournament. Are you taking South Carolina or the field?
Goodness. Yeah, I'll go South Carolina here, and maybe it's a lazy answer, but I feel pretty confident with that one. I feel pretty confident taking South Carolina.
See, everybody wants to catch and put it on the deck right away.
By the way, they were in the building earlier today to watch the men's team against Tennessee. Ivisic with the throwdown. Like they got a game on Friday. And Coach.
Yeah, I'd like to see Big Z do a little bit more of that. Screen and roll. Now this is on Dillingham.
Yeah, so he bumped Taylor on his way through the lane.
Dillingham, not the most physical of guys. Take another look. Keep your eye on 44 in white. There's the screen. Short roll right down Main Street. It wasn't the cleanest of possessions, but when you're 7'2", you have a wide cone that you can throw it
to. Large catch radius, is that the term? Throw it just about anywhere, he'll take it. Taylor misfires from deep. Sheppard always in control when he initiates the offense. This is Antonio Reeves off of the wrong foot, if you will, but he still banks it off the window and through.
Floater game, early offense, kind of staples of this Kentucky team.
There's a great story about Reeves and Mitchell and their impacts on the program in the Lexington Herald Leader, where Reeves said a couple of days ago, it has been a blessing and an honor to play in this building, to spend 2 years in this Kentucky uniform. And he is a great example of a success story, if you will, out of the portal. Parlaying a 3-year career at Illinois State. Remember, he was an overlooked 3-star coming out of high school. And this is someone who is certainly looked at now as a next-level scorer, not just shooter.
I think when he came here, he was basically known as a catch-and-shoot guy. So he has been developed offensively by the staff here in terms of expanding his offensive repertoire. Oh, full-court presser. First time we've seen it from Vanderbilt. Down the floor, hard trap on the inbounds pass.
With 5:53 to go, Jerry Stackhouse's team had a lead for much of the first half, went into the break down 5, and Kentucky has slowly built upon that advantage.
I like that pressure. I'm sorry, Kevin. I love the diagonal pass against the pressure. Well, that's a shot that Reeves usually knocks down at a high clip.
And he's only 1 of 5 from beyond the arc tonight. He's got 5 straight 20-point games today, though, with 15. Although all he needs is 2 more shots. He'll essentially be there the way he shoots it.
Yeah, he shot the ball really poorly. He's got 15.
Yeah. Lawrence off balance fadeaway. And Roberts knocked it away from Mitchell. Should be Kentucky basketball, and it is.
Again, full court pressure. come and meet all passes.
Pass Presley, Reeves, Ivisic! Going up top, and a sledgehammer.
That's one way to beat the press.
You were saying about his catch radius? Difficult floater. Lawrence put that one way up there. The high archer falls through. So he goes to the free throw line looking to complete the three-point play.
And one of the struggles, I think, for Kentucky at times is guarding the ball. So they get into defensive rotations. Lawrence and Manjon have been sensational tonight.
Season high now, 22 for Tyron Lawrence. Ties his season high. A veteran from Georgia with 23. And Vandy, as you would expect, not going away. Whoa, they forgot about Ivisic. And then Allen Lubin whistled for the personal.
But who saw the play develop? 15 in white.
Yeah.
He has such vision.
The rookie who's got a wry smile on his face as he's walking up the floor.
And Cal's got a plethora of those three guys that he can rotate in and out in terms of Bradshaw and Ivisic and Onyenso, and they each bring something a little different to the table.
Sheppard, by the way, with 11 assists tonight. That's a foul on Robertson.
Kevin, I talked about the three bigs as you take a look at Sheppard, but the three bigs that Cal has at his disposal, I think Bradshaw's the most versatile because he can impact the game on both ends. Onyenso's the rim protector, and Big Z, I think, has the best offensive skill set. But what a luxury to have that kind of depth at that position.
Sheppard wants three. Took it. Sheppard now with 8 points, 4 boards, 11 assists. Making mom and dad proud like normal. So he is a basket away from the double-double. I want to go back to your point on the bigs. Vandy loses it, ball back to Kentucky. You know, that trio that you referenced, and not to mention Mitchell, remember, who had to fill in at the 5 for much of the first part of the year.
Right.
You know, they push each other in a healthy way.
Yeah, they've got great relationship. I think Bradshaw is kind of the personality of the three, if you will, but they've become very close.
4:15 to go. Here's Mitchell trying to muscle his way past Roberts. Left that one short. Mitchell might have blown a tire here. I think he's trying to. No, he's just favoring that left leg. The three is good, and Kentucky has its largest lead of the night. It's a 19-point cushion. Tied up with 4:04 to go.
Kentucky knocks down their 11th three-ball of the night. This is the 14th time they've made 10 or more. They are so deadly from deep. Reeves feeds Sheppard for the first one. See the seams? He felt for the ball, and after the miss by Mitchell, the kick out. Back-to-back threes for the Cats.
All right, how about our All-State mayhem moment tonight with Kentucky ahead by 19. Rob Dillingham, he's gone for 23 more.
Yeah, we've seen his offensive game in full for tonight in terms of him scoring at the rim. He's also knocked down 3 from deep. It's the 10th time this season that Dillingham has made 3 or more threes in a game.
And Kentucky has a whole surplus of those shooters that can ignite at any moment. By the way, the 12 first half points were in the final 4 minutes of the first half. So we got off to a slow start out of the blocks, and meanwhile there he is with 23 points.
But look how efficient. That's right.
Yep. He's hit the 3 triple. He's got a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists. I mean, any way you slice it, this has been a impressive second half for Kentucky after it trailed for much of the first. Had some turnover woes in the early goings, eventually took a 5-point lead into the locker room, and they have just slowly pulled away from the Commodores in this second half.
A lot of conversation here locally about Sheppard and Dillingham coming off the bench. They play starters minutes. What's the big deal? They're comfortable with it. Dillingham comes into every game fresh.
So in short, if I'm hearing it right, everybody just chill.
Why change?
It's been a winning formula
Have
this
you not
year.
seen the offensive numbers?
Yeah. One of the most prolific offenses in the nation. Van Allen Lubin attacks and scores. You know, this transfer from Notre Dame spent last year with the Irish, goes into the portal after Mike Bray retires, and he just took that pass. So that's a rare turnover by Sheppard. Allen, all count it, and the foul. So Van Allen Lubin is not done yet. And the sophomore, who continues to grow in his second year under Jerry Stackhouse at the line when we return. Pick it off, take it the distance, my man. +1. We've been talking about it all year. Kentucky remains one of the more exciting teams in America. Do they have the secret sauce, if you will, to make the Final Four run? What's on your checklist?
Well, I think you have to have these ingredients. Number one, you have to have NBA talent. You better be in Ken Palm's top 40 in efficiency in both offense and defense, or close to it. Great guard play. You've got to be healthy, and you've got to catch a break. Well, how does Kentucky stand up? Well, you take a look. I think they've got the NBA talent. They certainly have the offensive numbers. Great guard play, of course. Getting Mitchell back and getting him into the flow healthy, yes. You won't know anything about catch a break until you get into the tournament. So I know this. I know the last 7 NCAA tournament winners have been inside the top 40, and their offensive numbers have been better than their defensive.
Yeah, that's a good catch. You've got to have that balance on both sides of the floor. You know, the last one is the very important item, too. You got to catch the matchups who you face in the NCAA tournament.
Let me also say this. It can be done if you're outside the top 40, but not very often. Last year, Miami was 6th offensively, 99th defensively.
Yeah,
does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it's almost a dead match, by the way. Some of these Kentucky numbers. Count the basket for Manjon, and so Vanderbilt got it back to a 12-point game, 2:52 to go.
They have been the hang-around team from the get-go tonight, thanks in large part to that young man. He has been marvelous.
Well, they're going to miss him next year, the Warrior from Antioch, California. Onyenso grew up in the Bay Area, about halfway between Sacramento and San Francisco. He starts at UC Davis, 1,000-point scorer in 3 years, 3-year starter, 3-time all-conference selection, and then he decides to transfer. He's getting the architecture degree and using that extra year of eligibility to play this 5th season. And he has been the engine this year for a team that has struggled, but have displayed great fight all evening. A lot of their younger players getting some great minutes. Oh, they called Manjon for the foul there. Looked like he might have knocked it away cleanly. However, Dillingham's going to go to the line.
Well, Vanderbilt only has 3 team fouls.
Oh, pardon me. Never mind.
Take another look. The reach from behind, that's a foul.
That's just the 4th team foul. So Kentucky inbounds underneath the hoop. Reeves.
There's that curl play again on the baseline that Kentucky loves to run for Reeves. The impressive thing to me tonight for Vanderbilt, Jerry Stackhouse's team has made Kentucky very uncomfortable in their own building.
Talk about a discomfort right now. Okay, Vanderbilt's going to get the basketball back with a chance to get it back to single digits. 2:34 to go.
Watch Mitchell again move on the screen. See him move out at the last moment.
So Thiero checks in for Mitchell.
And Mitchell's pleading his case. I don't think Cal's going to take much of it.
Right.
Iverson cut to a little isolation screen back for Lawrence.
That
well
one
executed.
That one looked good. It was just a bit strong. Oh, Dillingham, the no-look to Ivisic. How quickly he changes speeds, directions, and then he can give it right up there to the big Croatian.
How fast do they put you on your heels defensively, though?
It's a perfect way to put it. Inside of 2 minutes now, Lawrence keeps the dribble, now picks it up, keeps the pivot foot, throws it up, rebound down to Ivisic. So Ivisic with 3 boards now. Dillingham, Wagner left it short, and Lawrence secures another board.
That's the way Kentucky plays now.
Manjon at the rim, count it. This Kentucky team 120 away from closing out a very hungry and feisty Vanderbilt team. Yeah, Dillingham is just, he's clowning on him now. Reeves to the basket, got it, and the foul.
I'm chuckling because Big Z wants to be a guard, trying to make kind of a hope shot, if you will. The ball gets rebounded out, and there's Reeves, and Reeves doing Reeves' thing, attacking the rim.
In his final game in this building, quite a 2-year run for Antonio Reeves. The 5th-year vet from Chicago now has 18.
And yet, in some ways, Kentucky has done what Kentucky needed to do tonight, which is kind of survive, really. They had the hard game on the weekend against Arkansas. They've got, this big game, I think, coming up in Knoxville.
And again, with the win tonight, as it pertains to SEC tournament seeding. By the way, Reeves now has 6 straight 20-point games.
Yes, I was just about to say that. You just said he had 15 like 30 seconds ago.
Right. Lubin's 3 in the corner is strong as it pertains to SEC tournament seeding. All right, little showtime here. Dillingham behind the back, Thiero. Well, they've hit 93 now. They average 89.6. They get above 90. SEC tournament seeding with the win, and with 1 game to go in the regular season, Kentucky with tiebreakers. They'll be the 2 seed if the tournament started tomorrow. They'll need to win once more if they want to secure that number 2 seed in the tournament. 5 seconds to go. Presley left it short. Kentucky closes out its home slate with a win. 93-77 over Vanderbilt, and they sweep the Commodores this year.
Outscoring Vanderbilt in the second half, 48-37. It's a big number for Kentucky in terms of 3-point differential, plus 18 in that category. Oh yeah, guess what the final score was? Plus 16.
4th straight game with 90 or more points. They, on the season, shoot 51% from the floor. That's what they shot today. They shoot 41% from 3. That's what they shot today. Incredibly efficient and crisp. And these Wildcats 22-8 with 1 more game to go Saturday against Tennessee. That does it for us. For Mark Wise, our entire crew, I'm Kevin saying so long. Let's go to the studio now. Here's Dari and Charlotte.
All right, Kevin, Mark, thank you all much. Ron Slay hanging out here with me. We will chat momentarily with Rob Dillingham, who put up 23 in the game. We'll dive into what maybe started that separation there late first half, and his game in general. It turned into what was rather standard Kentucky, right? Everybody can score, everybody can shoot. And they ran away. Yeah, they ran away. It started at the end of the first half, and they fed onto that going in the second half. Got guys to go out and make buckets, take good shots. And then once they start falling, they are so dangerous offensively. Things start to fall when you start to challenge shots, too. Dillingham hitting one-hand runners and things of that nature. That man is a clinic. That might need to be his name, walking clinic. Yeah, I think we should call him that. He is, man. He can score every way imaginable. There are shots he takes that doesn't look at all. There's no chance. Yeah. But he ends up scoring. That's right. I see him. I'm looking at him. He's got his headphones on right now, and his headset on, I should say, right now.
Getting ready.
We'll bring him in here in just a moment once we've confirmed he can hear us. Okay. I think he can hear us. Rob, you got us. All right, let's bring him in if he can hear us. Rob Dillingham there at Rupp Arena, where it is currently loud. Are you with us, all right? Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. What's happening there right now? Talk us through it there. I know it's something big going on. We honoring people?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this here. You guys are in a battle there late in the first half, and then all of a sudden, you get wild from three. You guys hit 4 straight threes. How did that run change the rest of this game?
It changed it a lot for us because it got us going. It got confidence in us, and we just started off a little slow. So after we started hitting shots, we started moving the ball, playing defense, and it all came together.
Rob, Coach Cal always puts you guys in a great spot to win and be able to succeed. You're in a 6-man role in a sense. How much fun are you having coming in knowing that the other guy usually is a 6-man trying to defend you one-on-one?
Oh, yeah, I'll be happy for sure. I just look at it as I try to come in and do whatever's best for my team. And I be coming in, and they already tied, so it's just a boost for me. So I'm happy for sure.
You got a game at Tennessee coming up on Saturday. We'll let you worry about that down the road. But as you are a creative shot taker, a creative shot maker, when was the last time you lost a game of horse?
I feel like I can only do things when it's in a real game, so I might lose in horse, but when it's in the game, I'm going to hit the shot.
As you do pretty much seemingly every time. Rob, good stuff, man. We appreciate your time. We'll let you go hang out with you guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Y'all.